Yo. Welcome to another episode of the CheckDown. I'm your host, Smitty. I'm here with the crew, man. Sir, how you feeling, bro?
Oh man, my bad. Oh, I'm good, bro. I didn't even know my mic was on.
Oh, man. J-Mick, how you feeling back with us, man?
I'm feeling good. I had a little week vacation. I mean, I got away from everything. I wasn't really on social media like that, so I'm back like I never left, pretty much.
How you feeling, Pop?
I'm good. Glad to be back with the people like always.
Yeah, man. We left y'all, uh, in the Brandon Aiyuk saga. It still
Oh,
continues. He's still unsigned. You know what I mean? We left hoping, we come back this week with some good news for the people. But as of now, he is still holding in. Hasn't signed a contract yet. Looks like most of the teams that were pursuing him pretty much out. It looked like it's down to, I'm assuming, the Steelers and the 49ers, but it looked like it's more the 49ers than anybody else. I don't know, man. I thought it was going to be done. I don't know if I'm the only one that thought it would be over with, but I thought this would be handled and not the way by now.
I mean, I could just speak from my own fan base perspective. Talk to my own fan base. They're just ready for the shit to be over. Obviously, the page has been out for a minute, but people just want to know where he's going to be at this point. This other thing been dragged on way too long.
Yeah, man. How you feeling, sir? I mean, I know you kind of thought he was going to be traded, but he ain't been traded yet. So has your insight changed on what you feel, or you still feel like he's going to get traded? Yeah. Traded he is. All right, cool. All right.
oh, my bad. I
Pop,
was
what you think?
talking and my mic was. Yeah, I'm tired of
Oh,
this
so the one
motherfucker,
time
man.
your mic's supposed to the one time your mic not supposed to be muted is muted, huh?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. See how that go.
Interesting.
But yeah, I'm tired of this nigga, man. Like, get this nigga the fuck up out of here, yo. I don't even want this nigga no more, man. Give me the draft picks. I'll take my risk in the draft. I'm tired of this nigga, man. Like, he really thinks that he's what he isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand. I could see if he was him. I could see if he was him to my offense, and he's neither. Like, I get it. Is he a big part of the offense? Yeah, but we don't run our offense through you, bro. And even if we was a passing team, I really think that what we do with Debo is going to help you more than anything. But it's like this nigga think he like fucking Devontae Adams or something, dog. And I'm like, bro, you closer to motherfucking Michael Pittman than you are Devontae Adams. I think you need to fucking relax. No disrespect to Michael Adams. I mean Michael Pittman. Kinda, but yeah.
I mean, I can see that though, and I just think
It's
that's
interesting dynamic. It's interesting as hell.
I just think the whole
Because he really
NFL feel
do
that
think he
way.
top. He really do feel like he top 3, but he really more like top 10.
I mean, he's
Which
like
you want
top,
top
yeah,
of the
yeah.
money.
I mean, I'll give him top 10. I can't say I wouldn't put him in the top 5 though.
Nah, top 10 for sure. I think he top 3 though.
Nah,
That's
he's not
kind
in
of
the
where the
top 5.
disconnect coming up.
Nah, he's definitely not he's definitely not a top 5 wide receiver. Sorry.
Because right now you asking for top 5 money, but I don't think you are
Well, I just think it's
deserving
the
of
point.
top 5 money.
He getting to the market, so I get why he's asking for that because he's I mean if if you don't get a deal this year, he'll play, and then next year if they don't franchise him, he'll be a free agent. That's probably what he's going to get. So I mean it's more about him being free in the market or going to be free in the market next year if he don't get
But
franchised.
I believe his market is more Waddle and Smitty than it is Justin Jefferson and Chase.
See, my only thing with him and Waddle is I feel like he's a much better, run blocker than Waddle is. I mean, like Waddle, to me, he's an average pass blocker. I mean, obviously Waddle is more explosive in my opinion.
I ain't even talking about talent. I'm just saying like the market. Like he should be more in their market than he believes he's in Justin Jefferson in the market. Like what he is to the San Francisco offense is like a wide receiver too.
Yeah, then if he's the wide receiver 2, then who's their wide receiver 1? Because I don't think it's Debo.
I think it's CMC and Kittle.
Yeah, but Kittle's the tight end, and that's what I'm saying. Like Kittle's the tight end 1, and C-Mac is a running back 1. I get what you're trying to say though.
But I'm just saying how they use the offense. He's third option, maybe fourth option.
Yeah, I mean he's third option on like a run/passing down where you don't know what they're going to do. But let's just say it's a strict like it's 3rd and 10. Like
he's the second option.
And I could go with that. Like he's not the first option because I would think Kittle, if Kittle's going out to a route, Kittle be the first option. And I think he the second and Debo the third. And then CMC might be the third. I mean, it just depends.
I think that's the disconnect though. You think you in one category of I'm the number 1, I'm the offense, it runs through me, and they telling you like, nah, it kind of don't. We willing to pay you, but we willing to pay you more. If you look at their offer, they believe he in the same range. Like he in that range with Smitty and Waddle. That's what they offered him.
Yeah, but I thought they offered him something recently, like right under like under third. I thought they offered him something recently, like 27, 28 million, something like that. I thought, or maybe that's the Steelers.
Oh yeah, I don't know who offered it. I know the last what I heard. You might have heard since me. I heard it was 26, right?
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking about the Steelers. Like the Steelers offered him just under 30. I think it was like 28 or something like that. I mean, but I heard the disconnect with him and the Niners is he wants a 4-year deal. The Niners only want to give him a 3-year deal. So I heard that's also like a like another thing for him.
Verbiage is a big issue when it comes to contracts. That people that don't play the game don't really understand it, or people that's not professionals don't understand lingo and contracts mean things. And it could just come down to something small like what you said. 3-year, 4-year, guaranteed money, possibly he probably want to, take out franchise tagging and all that moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, if I'm the 49ers, like I've been saying it the whole time, I at least hold on to him for this year because I feel as if they don't have him. I mean, it kind of, it does kind of, for me, it downgrades them in that conference. Like, I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs or something like that. Like they'll be a contender, but I wouldn't view them the same. I mean, if he's not on the team.
True. I think it's a different caliber of passing game once you take Brandon Aiyuk out for sure.
Yeah, it's like why would you okay? Let's say you're not going to sign him, then he has to at some point he got to play. Like he can't just sit out for the whole year and then like he doesn't get time like he don't get this year counted against his service. So he'd be so he can't progress into free agency. So at some point he has to play. So so if I was them, I would just wait it out. I mean, and for Brandon, the problem is if they start playing games and they win it without him, then it kind of makes the team's points like we don't really need you. So then he feels the need to come back quicker. But then let's say the 49ers, let's say they would, I don't think they're gonna lose to the Jets, but let's just say they lose to the Jets and whoever they play the second way they lose. Then it kind of gives them more leverage.
Yeah, I get it. Other big news since the last time we left, the best person on J-Mick team got traded to the Falcons. I definitely was in the value for his services, but he went to Atlanta alongside Justin Simmons. How do y'all feel about those two trades and where the Falcons are at this point?
I mean, I can speak from a Patriots perspective. I didn't think we was going to get a 3rd round for him, to be perfectly honest with you. So when I seen that we traded him to the Falcons, I thought it was like a 4th. And then I found out that we were getting a 3rd from them. It was either them or the Bears. So I got a view that my front office think that the Bears are going to have a better record than the Falcons, first and foremost. But secondly, I got a 3rd for them. Most people don't even really expect us to win more than 5 games. So, I can get more draft capital next year. And so I can, because my team got a lot of needs that we need to address in the draft next year. I'm perfectly fine with it. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not like we have playoff aspirations. Like, we don't. So I'm all for the draft compensation, and I'm happy that we got a 3rd round pick for him.
How do you feel about the Justin Simmons situation?
Justin Simmons is low-key a great move, man. Like pairing him with Bates, that back end kind of crazy, like as far as the safeties go. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I mean, like you pairing those two guys up. I mean, you traded for Judon, and you know, I mean, like the thing is, like I mean, like their defense was actually much improved last year. So I think their defense is going to be better. I mean, so I'm not really their defense is not what concerns me. It's their offense because I mean, also I mean, like Raheem Morris is their coach, so I assume he's going to have the defense, good, I mean, good to an extent. My concern is with the whole Kirk Cousins and Achilles thing because like we always talk about Aaron Rodgers and I mean his Achilles, but we never really talk about Kirk Cousins and his. I realize Kirk is 5 years younger, but you kind of got to put that into the equation. Like, what happens if Kirk is just not the same quarterback that he was in Minnesota and like playing at that level? Like, what do you do then? I mean, I know you got Michael Penix, sitting behind him, but it's like you do have to ask that question. Like, you have to ask, like, are they going to use Bijan right, and are they going to, I mean, like use, Pittman, not Pittman, but Pitts right? So I think there's a lot of questions for their offense, but the Falcons should make the playoffs. I mean, with the additions that they've recently made, they should be able to get a wild card, I would think.
I'll say this. I think one, they solidified the position of need with pass rush. I think they did address it in the draft, but you have a known commodity in Judon. And so that gives them that extra boost to pair with Grady, who's been on that line and been consistent for them for years. Pairing Justin Simmons up with Jesse Bates, I think that's like you can argue that's probably like a top five safety duo right there. And it shores up that back end. Even if you don't have a cornerback, a solidified cornerback two, you got Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, and AJ Terrell, who's a solid cornerback. That's a nasty backfield to go up against. And I think this move really has them contending for the division. I think I could hear arguments for them being division favorites. I still will put Tampa Bay as a favorite just because they have owned the division over the last 3 years, and until somebody dethrones them, it is theirs to lose. But I really like this move for the Falcons. To Jameik's point, Kirk Cousins' health, it's important. Like that matters for the success of this team because if you can get the Kirk who was on an MVP type season before he got injured with Minnesota, and you put him on that offense they have, because I think you're going to get a much improved offense out of Bijan. I think you're going to get a better showing from Pitts. I think Drake London is potentially going to have his best year yet with them this season, with Zach Robinson as their offensive coordinator who came from the Rams with Raheem Morris. I think you're going to see a better offensive showing. And because and, and with that thought, I think if you get that Kirk we saw in Minnesota, this can be a high potent offense to go up against. Paired with that defensive, with the defense, I see that they're building over there. I think the Falcons really can make a run in the playoffs. Now, are they Super Bowl contenders? I can't say that right now, but I think right now they are playoff contenders.
Sir,
I like
if you
everything
talking, you muted.
Atlanta did. So what?
I said I was finna say if you talking, you muted.
Oh yeah, I like everything Atlanta did. Over the it's funny, man, because we was sitting here. I forgot who it was when we was fucking with Tina. Shout out to the Little Box, Crouch Count Chronicles. Uh, we was talking about the shit, and that somebody has said in the space, they got Judon now. If they could pull Simmons, they might be cooking. Less than 24 fucking hours later, they get Simmons. You know what I'm saying? They got a quarterback, man. I like what they doing on offense. I love Bijan. I've been saying it for years, man. They need to get Grady some help. I think niggas really done forgot who Grady is.
Facts.
Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like he been buried on that defensive line by himself for so fucking long. Like niggas have really forgot. Like he's really one of them ones. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck how old Judon is. He gonna help. He gonna help more than who they got out there right now. So I agree with everything Pop said, man. I got them as the favorites, but you know you gotta show me, man, because Tampa done pulled this out 3 years in a row. So That's where I'm at with it.
Yes, that's my only point. It's just like last year, like everybody was on the Saints because they had traded for Derek Carr. They had the best quarterback in the division and all that, and it just Tampa Bay just did what they've been doing the last couple of years. So that's why the Falcons should win that division. I don't know if I'm gonna pick them though, but they should.
Yeah.
I kind of like everything they did, right? Because I believe they had two glaring weaknesses. They needed an extra safety because Jesse Bates can't continue to do it by himself, and they needed a pass rush. Grady Jarrett, yes, he can produce pressure, but what happens when you can scheme against that one guy because nobody else can? You start taking him out of the game. So now Matt Judon kind of leaves it where you have to help. You gotta make sure you got help on Judon. You also gotta have help on Grady. So I'm hoping with what they drafted over the last 2 years, some of the additions that's already on the team, you can create some one-on-one, opportunities for those guys to get some pressure. Now the question is, who's cornerback two?
You mean what? Well, I mean, who is CB1 for them?
Terrell.
It's Terrell.
Like I said, who is CB1?
Oh, come on, Mick. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, Mick. Don't do that.
I mean, I'm just saying. The thing about me is like AJ. Like I loved him coming out of Clemson. His first year was good. After that, I mean, it's been kind of sketchy. And I'm a AJ fan, but I don't know. Like, I mean, he gonna have to show me this year because last year he didn't have a good season to me.
I think it was a slightly down year. I'll say this: he does get cooked by Tampa Bay and New Orleans a lot by the receivers, but outside of the division, he's a pretty solid cornerback. He does have some misplays, but I think he's a solid cornerback for them, and I think Raheem Morris will. Well, I don't even know if Raheem is calling the plays in Atlanta actually, but I think they'll put AJ Terrell in a position to succeed. And I've been hearing some rumblings about who potentially cornerback two is, but yeah, there is no solid. There's no definitive answer for that, and I think that's the big question mark still for the team. But
I think you can get away. So, like, I think you can get away with not having great cornerbacks when you have great safety play.
Exactly. I think that Simmons move really helps solidify the back end, even without having a solid cornerback too.
Because I guess
depending on people's feelings about Terrell. So yeah.
Because I guess on their depth chart they have Mike Hughes listed as their right cornerback. Because obviously AJ, like AJ's the left. He's the left cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't know. I'm not really that up to date on Mike Hughes a lot. I guess Mike Hughes is he was drafted at UCF in 2018. So I'm not that well acquainted with him, but hey, I mean that's kind of who he is. And I guess he played with Minnesota for the bulk of his career. He played for Minnesota for 3 years. KC in 2021, Detroit in 2022, and he actually played with the Falcons last year. So actually he was on the team. So I mean, there's a little background on him. Like Micah Hughes. But I don't think they didn't. I'm looking at the depth chart. It doesn't look like they drafted anybody at the corner position, which kind of surprised me though.
No, I think they just addressed the defensive line for the most part in their draft.
I don't know. I mean, with as many corners was in this draft, like they could have took a flyer on a corner later in the draft, and it doesn't look like they did that. So, oh well.
Hey, my fan base mad at me right now. I told them this cornerback that was coming off of an injury was going to get cut within the next week, and they told me he was going to have a roster spot, and then they cut him this morning, and now everybody like, oh, you spoke this on him. Like, nah, he deserved to be cut. He wasn't playing good.
I mean, you really can't. I mean, for him to get cut this early means he really was bad. That's what that really means. He really wasn't good at all.
He was, bro. I told him that.
Third preseason game.
I told him he wasn't good. I was like, bro, he's not good. They're like, nah, he's going to come back from injury, have a good season. I'm like, he didn't have a good season before injury, and he wasn't good before injury. He got benched twice. They brought in 4 different slot corners to compete with his spot. They obviously don't believe in him, and my fan base got a weird weird thing for loyalty to players that don't do shit.
And what was his corner's name exactly?
Mekhi Gardner, whatever you want to call him.
Doesn't ring any bells because I was at the joint practice and I watched the game. And that doesn't really bring up any, anything to me. So I don't know.
He didn't play well. He hasn't been getting really any first team snaps. I mean, he just been buried. Anything interesting for y'all camps though? I mean, before we get into the little college.
Hufunga's back.
When he came back, how long he been back?
He got cleared for practice Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good addition for y'all, and I think y'all was already having some breakout safeties on top of that, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because the line jumped from 5.5 to 7.5.
For what?
The Jets, week 1.
Man, I think that game could be like the Steelers game last year. It has all the makings to be the same thing.
That ain't what the Jets believe, but
I mean, I'm in a, I'm in the spaces all the time. I mean, yeah, they're like over enthusiastic. I get it because they got a quarterback and they feel like they can contend, but that game
I've heard
some ugly though.
I've heard some egregious stuff from the Jets, like beating them by 20 is crazy.
Beating who by 20?
I heard somebody say that the 49ers is getting beat by 20.
Ain't no freaking way on this planet that's gonna happen.
The 49ers is gonna lose by 20 at home.
I mean, the 49ers have a better chance of winning by 20 than losing by 20.
Exactly.
I'm
gonna go put my money on the latter of the two and say they're gonna win that damn game.
And especially if they have like Brandon Aiyuk and I mean like Hufunga, like if they have Hufunga back there like playing center field, like I mean, good luck to the Jets.
And the question with the Jets is like, what type of Aaron Rodgers are you gonna get? Like, you have a 40-year-old quarterback coming off of an injury that had him out for the whole season. Like, what type of quarterback player are you gonna get? Like,
it's a lot of questions for me. My bad. I thought you was done.
No, go ahead, sir.
No, you gotta go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, like, I don't know about that line. I really don't know about that offensive line. I need to see how they're going to be able to protect Aaron Rodgers. Not saying that he got injured because of the line, because it was a non-contact injury, but I'm just saying that plays a part in securing your quarterback's health throughout the season. Will that line be able to protect him against the defense that the 49ers are going to bring?
But I think you got to look at like Rodgers' history too. He does not play well in the first game of the season. Like that's been going on for the last 5-6 years. They just it is what it is. So he tends to come out week 1 slow. And so I guess maybe the situation is differently because he actually went to like the voluntary like OTAs. He didn't go to mandatory, but he's at the voluntary and he's been at training camp almost every day. Maybe it's going to be different. But speaking on his history the last 5-6 years, he does not play well. And like it's his first game of the season.
I think that's going to be an interesting game. But I don't know. I'm with y'all. I just don't know what Aaron Rodgers I'm getting. So I'm kind of in a situation like, what happens if he don't come out and he not Aaron? What happens? He come out and he look closer to Chad Pennington than he do Aaron Rodgers. What do you do there?
Man, if he don't look like Aaron Rodgers against the 49ers, it's going to be a long day for them. That's what it's going to be. So
I hope the best, but
so going against the 49ers, like for them to have a chance to win, he got to be Aaron Rodgers. Like, and the problem with Aaron Rodgers is even he don't really play good against the 49ers like that. So
right.
So I'm good luck.
And Pop, you said you ain't gonna blame the offensive line for him getting injured. They let a free blitzer come off that edge. Mekhi Becton definitely blew that coverage. He definitely blew it.
That's
Aaron Rodgers tried to. If Aaron Rodgers would have just laid down like he was going to do with his initial mind, if you watch the tape, he looked like he just gonna take the sack. Then he tried to he's like, never mind, I'm gonna try to cut it up, but he grabbed him. I'm like,
yeah, but if you really look at that replay of that play, he had Garrett Wilson initially. He could have threw the ball earlier. He just didn't. He wanted to hold on to it.
He pulled it back.
He pulled it back. So he wanted to see how the play was going to develop. But I mean, if he would have let it go to Garrett Wilson, I mean, who knows? He might not have got hurt.
Because he Go ahead.
So for me, man, I like the offensive line. I get it. Y'all done brought in a few names, a little longer than the two. A bunch of names that played on better offensive lines with their previous teams. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't really think that they like the guys that Tyron Smith played with. He played with them for like 7, 8 years straight. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a certain level of cohesiveness on that Cowboys line. Zach Martin was on there with him. I don't remember the whole line, but they had a good line. Like you got to take into account the talent that these players. Like I brought up Lake and Tomlinson, for example. 2 years ago, they was happy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we taking Lincoln. They were like, nah, we just don't want him. Oh no, you can't afford him. He's a Pro Bowl left guard. I was like, yeah, he a Pro Bowl left guard when he playing against besides Trent Williams, but he's not gonna look like that in the Jets. Lincoln Tomlinson ain't even on the Jets anymore. Like, like he only lasted 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So I got questions about the offensive line. I get it. Garrett Wilson, he had a good rookie season. I get that. But when you get 190 targets, I need more than 101 receptions, bro. Like you got enough targets for 2 players. That's crazy. Um, I like Bryce Huff, but it's the offense, man. I just got so many questions, man. And then it's not only that, like it's a lot of film out there on
Hey,
Nathaniel Hackett.
sir, they don't got Bryce Huff. They don't got him.
I mean, Bryce Hall. My bad. You know.
Oh,
Brees
Brees Hall, yeah.
That's
I
what
do
I
like
said.
No, I think you said
You
Bryce.
said Bryce.
Yeah.
This nigga always snitching, dog. I swear to God, I swear this nigga was in police academy last week. That's where he was. Talking about he was on. This nigga's a narc, dog. But anyway, man, I got a lot of questions on offense, man. I got a lot of questions on offense. Um, Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers as the offensive coordinator, Aaron Rodgers as the play caller, because let's be honest, that's what it's going to be. You know, on defense, hey man, they could run with the best of them, but
hmm
you got to score points though. So
And to
Yeah.
the point Sir brought up, outside of Garrett Wilson, they did bring in Mike Williams, but what Mike Williams are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the always hurt Mike Williams? Shows up sometimes but is inconsistent. Like what type of Mike Williams they're gonna get? I don't really know their other wide receivers outside of Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams. So that will be interesting to see play out. I do like the rookie running back they brought in, Braylon Allen from Wisconsin. I do like that. I do like him being behind Brees Hall. I think that's a good 1-2 tandem at the running back position, but there's still a lot of question marks for the offense.
yeah,
Yeah, I
my
think right
I,
now
I
they're on the depth chart. The third wide receiver is Xavier Gibson, who's
right.
like their punt returner. So, yeah.
Mm,
I just feel like even with the God damn it, with the Mike Williams thing, like I don't think they have. I don't like the culture over there to bring Mike Williams in. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like that's a type of guy that you gonna have to push him all year, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna have to keep him dialed in because that motherfucker will check out
mm,
early and often. You know, he has a reputation of checking out, and I don't like the culture over there. It's a lot of chitter chatter going on in the media about Sala and the owner and Rogers, that whole little trio dynamic going on. I don't like what's going on offense over there, man. I don't.
Well, I mean, they don't have a culture. Their culture is Aaron Rodgers. That's who runs that whole organization, that team. Like whatever Aaron wants, that's what he's going to
And
get.
that's a problem. That's a problem.
That's not necessarily how you want to run a football, professional organization. Like there got to be some. Yeah, I mean, I get it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you get guys like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Peyton Manning or whatever, and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, like you kind of give them the leeway to do a lot of things, but you still have to have that no more framework though.
Right. Like I feel like they didn't give the keys to a player that's gonna. I feel like they gave the keys to the franchise to a name. Now if he was like Pat or Joe or I hate to fucking say it, Josh Allen, okay, I can get that. But at this stage in his career, yo, like the pool that he has right now, undermining the coach and everything, it's a lot going on, man. And it's like it just don't look good.
And I just don't think it makes sense for a guy that at the max probably played maybe 2 or 3 years at the max. The third year is like a complete maximum. Like, I mean, like I could see him playing 1 to 2 years. And I just wouldn't want to give that kind of power to a guy that might not be there in 2 years. And then once he leaves in 2 years, like, what do you have? Like
somebody said Aaron Rodgers is gonna have the LeBron effect. You're gonna give him all the power, get all these players, and then when he leave, all that stuff he leave behind gonna be dog shit.
I mean, the only good thing about the Jets is like they got a really good defense. So even once he leaves, as long as they keep most of the pieces on the defense will still be what it is. It's just the offense. When he leaves, like
they dealt with that for years though, J Mitt. If you don't have, I was just gonna say, if you don't have a quarterback, then you got a defense with no quarterback. You dealt with that with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and that's
Sam Darnold.
Because you saw what happened last season when Aaron Rodgers went down. That offense had no identity. And you saw them try to find it throughout the season, and they never really got there.
And I mean, like, pretty much their only hope behind Rodgers right now is they drafted Jordan Travis, and I don't really realistically think Jordan Travis is an NFL quarterback. Like, I think he's like a backup, but I don't think he's gonna be your like quarterback that's gonna lead you to the playoffs or to the Super Bowl. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see that like Jordan Travis.
If they had a better culture in developing quarterbacks, I would give them opportunity because I know Jordan Travis is going to give it his all to get better. But they don't have a track record of developing quarterbacks, and all the quarterbacks they do draft with developing ability, they turn out to be trashed. I mean, all the way down to back to Chad Pennington for real. Like, you think about every quarterback they've drafted early. Geno, Sam Darnold, Mark Sanchez, Zach Wilson. Like, all the guys they draft, they don't develop. They all turn out to be either one-hit wonders or no-hit wonders, and it's over with. Mark Sanchez out of the bunch was the only one with a wonder. He had 2 years when he went to the championship, and then he turned into Mr. Butt Fumble.
And I think
I'll say
Jordan
this.
Travis is – well, let me say this real quick. Like, I think Jordan Travis' best chance is if Aaron Rodgers plays for 2 years, and he can sit behind Aaron Rodgers and just learn. I think that's his best shot.
Yeah, I was going to touch on that with Jordan Travis. I think he has raw ability. He just needs to be coached up and to be developed. But he does have some things I do like about him. And I'll just say this about Zach Wilson. That quarterback class that he came in is absolutely buns if you look at it. That was like one of the worst quarterback classes I've seen in recent history.
Yeah. I still think the Kenny Pickett draft was the worst quarterback class I've ever seen. I mean, Kenny Pickett and the guy at the Titans draft, like I can never remember the guy's name.
Will Levis?
Yeah, nah. And Will was drafted last year.
No, you talking about the dude out of Liberty. I can't think of his name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of just outright failure, I've got to give it to that draft class. I mean, even though they didn't have as many quarterbacks drafted as the T-Law draft. And I mean, like, the only people that can resurrect that draft class is T-Law and Justin Fields. Because I mean, the rest of them dudes is just they're not good. They're bad. I mean, Mac Jones is bad. Trey Lance just never. I'm not gonna say Trey Lance is bad. He just never played enough for me to turn.
No, you say he's bad. You say he's bad.
And then you have Zach Wilson, who I just think is one of the worst quarterbacks that I've ever seen. Like,
so I think the remaining quarterbacks are already relegated to backup duties. Really, if you think about it, outside of the two you named.
I mean, that's why I said it's really up to the two I named. It's up to Trevor Lawrence.
But I mean, it's like does Justin like let's be honest with Justin Fields. Do you really like from what we've seen in the preseason in previous years when he was with Chicago? Do you really think he can usurp Russell Wilson as the starter?
Oh, I
No.
definitely think he can because I don't really view, like Russell that highly anymore. So I think I don't think he's going to start the season, but I think Justin Fields is going to get in the game at some point because I think like Russell Wilson will give you them games where he plays like crap, and so I just think there's going to be a chance for Justin to get in them games. And now, I mean, what Justin does once he gets in the game, that's something totally different that I can't really speak on.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think he'll get the opportunity. I just don't know if he'll capitalize on the opportunity, to be honest.
Yeah, he has to show me that he can. And
I mean,
Unless
that's
he
the
will
thing.
get an opportunity.
I mean, that's the thing for me and the Steelers is the fans are so enthusiastic, but I'm like, y'all got two quarterbacks on 1-year deals. What happens if they both stink and then they both leave? Now you're stuck in the same position that you were stuck in before without no quarterback.
But they want all these
the
offensive pieces.
too,
That's what kind of killing me. Like, you want all these offensive pieces, but you ain't got the main piece locked up.
I think they gonna go old school Steelers, man. Russ gonna come in there. He gonna play game manager. Excuse me, protect the ball, and the defense is gonna be the engine. You know, uh, we gotta see if it's gonna work. I don't know who the NFC AFC North plays this year, but I don't know, man. It might work. It might work.
I mean, it definitely could work, but like I said, like I guess the issue is like, well, there's two sides of the coin, right? Both guys leave next year, they have no quarterback, or one of the guys like what they really need is for Justin Fields to play well, because I mean Russell is getting to the end of his career, so it doesn't really do you any good for Russell to play extremely well. Because okay, let's say he does, you feel like you got to sign him. You sign him, and how many more years does he really have versus Justin Fields?
Do you think they have enough?
What in terms of like weapons and stuff?
Yeah.
For
either quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, like they have good wide receivers. I mean, they could use a better wide receiver too. But I mean,
yeah.
Running back wise, they're good. Tight end wise, they're good. So,
sir, they play AFC West, NFC East.
Oh, they're gonna have to score some points, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're
gonna
have to score points.
It's gonna be tough for them. I mean, it's never. And plus, you still got to play in the North. Like in the North, like you still got to play teams like the Bengals and the Browns and the Ravens, and all those teams are supposed to be good. So, I mean, I realize they went 5-1 in that division last year, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to do that again.
I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna say I think the Browns offensively got a lot better. I think Jerry Jeudy was a great pickup for them this offseason. I think he needed to get out of the Denver. Now, if Jerry Jeudy can get consistent with them hands, then yeah, I like it. I like it over there. But it's just that question because he disappears in games and he can be inconsistent catching the ball. But I do like that move for them because I don't think they really had a wide receiver two over there outside of Amari Cooper.
I mean, and I think the good thing for him is he gets to play with Cooper, so he doesn't have to be wide receiver one. I think that's the best thing for him.
But then he had the same opportunity in Denver, though. I felt like Cortland was kind of like wide receiver one for them, anyways.
No, I feel like Jeudy was a wide receiver one because
I think they were trying to make Jeudy wide receiver one and then Cortland Sutton.
But the production was just Sutton being one. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
I mean, but the problem with Jeudy is Jeudy been having hands issues since he was at Alabama. Like that's been a constant thing for him. Is not being able to cleanly catch the ball all the time. So I don't know how much better that's going to get.
My CheckDown cousins, y'all my cousins, right? CheckDown cousins. Yeah. Can this be the last year that we do this Jerry Jeudy thing? Like we gonna have to let go at some. Like I get it. But we gonna have to let this shit go. And so we've been saying the same shit about Jerry Jeudy since he got drafted. Like we gonna have to let this shit go at some point if it doesn't pan out.
I mean,
I agree.
My thing with Jeudy was my fan base wanted to trade for him last year. I was completely against it. But I mean, like that's the thing is like people are always gonna give a guy that got speed another chance.
Oh,
And
nigga, who you telling, dog?
but
Hey, remember when? Go ahead, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say that they're always gonna give them another chance. Like a perfect example on my team is like, I mean, like Tyquan Thornton. Like we drafted him from Baylor. The nigga been asked for 2 years, and they're talking about he actually gonna make the roster because he's fast. I mean, that's just it sucks, but that's just what it is.
Remember when Smitty was talking about every fan base got that one player that they just key in on? That player for my team is Danny Gray. Like everybody in the fan base just thinks if Danny Gray just gets one snap a game, it's going to change our fortune. Like Danny Gray is what's going to tip the scale. The same Danny Gray that can't create separation in practice is going to miraculously, out of nowhere, start separating in NFL games. and Danny Gray is the key. To getting Kyle Shanahan over the hump. Is Danny fucking Gray. And the sooner Kyle gets out of his own way, there you go, number 6, baby.
That's freaking hilarious. I mean, but
Danny Gray.
I mean, the funny thing is, I mean, every team has like that player in the fan base that they just love, and like the other part of the fan base knows that the guy is just ass. Not when he gets in the game, not going to do anything, but like he just be like a fan favorite for some reason.
He fast. I ain't gonna lie. 4-3.
I ain't gonna lie. It's every fan base got it, and everybody else be telling that half the fan base like, man, he buns. They're like, nah, he can make a difference. No,
he just need an opportunity.
Now the worst thing is being the rational fan out of your fan base, and you like, bro, come on now.
And they argue you down like you the hater.
Oh, you a fake fan?
Yeah, like, cause let's just go back to the Derek Carr signing that we did. I praise the God we didn't do that move because I knew that wasn't the move to make for us if you're trying to say we're contending for a playoffs. What has Derek Carr shown us in his career that showed you he's that type of quarterback? And yeah, okay, he's better than what we had, but listen, Jameis Winston, he's a fun ride. He gonna throw him to your players and the other players. That is a fun ride, okay? I would have rather us ride with him than make that move. And I just wasn't a fan, and my fan base cooked me for that because I was like, he's not good. He's not going to take us to the playoffs. And look what happened. But yeah, so I get it.
I mean, like calling that man a fun ride is just the terminology is hilarious. Like it's like from a guy perspective, it's like say you meet a girl that's a dime, right? And you meet her, and you try to take her on one date, right? And you know it's not going to work, but you just try to make it work. But
yeah.
Oh, Amber said Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore is theirs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Hey, listen, they just need to give Sky Moore a chance. Come on now.
Hey, she would have went to Jerry Judy.
I mean, that's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Oh, all he needs is an opportunity pop.
Yeah, come on.
Oh my God.
He can separate, like maybe his hands problems can get fixed. Maybe he can learn how to catch a ball.
I ain't never seen a nigga fix his hands.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
It's really hard.
The closest that I've seen a motherfucker fix their hands is T.O. That's the closest I've seen.
True.
And we saw how many touchdowns. Think about this. You look at the touchdowns he caught, and then you look at the touchdowns he dropped, and you're like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be in another round.
Like this, yeah, like this nigga dropped more touchdowns than some motherfuckers caught. It's crazy.
And I mean, see, that's what kind of concern. Let me get to my team real quick. That kind of concern with Javon Baker, right? The nigga get open all the fucking time. Sometimes he just don't catch the ball. Like that shit it's starting to concern me a little bit.
So do you think it's a hands thing, or is it it looked like a concentration thing to me?
And
for Judy?
For Baker.
Baker, I mean, he just be trying to make these crazy ass catches. And he just sometimes he don't come down with it. Like, I mean, like the catch on Thursday night, where I think like what Drake made through about a 40-yard pass, like the shit was on the dot. It was a perfect pass. He dove for it. He just didn't make the catch. It's catches like that, and then like throughout the game with the Eagles. I mean, like the what I see from the Eagles is like, I mean, like they was running the cover 2, right? And so like when they was running that against Baker, you know, I mean, like he just wasn't getting off the jam good. That's something else that he's gonna have to do better. You know, is like press coverage and getting off the press better. And then even when he got off the press, like the corner ran him out of bounds, and he got to like, I mean, as a wide receiver, that's going to be primarily on the boundary. Like you can't let the cornerback run you out of bounds. Like that's something
he kept letting Keely Rigo take away the route lane. Like he kept letting Keely force him to the sideline. He would take the step, and then Keely would just turn his back inside and force him outside. Just kept running him out of bounds. I was like, dang, come on, dude. Like make him think you're going somewhere else.
And I'm not down on Javon at all. I'm not down on him. He's a rookie, so he gonna have some time to develop. But I'm just saying, overall, like over time, he gotta get better at like those things in terms of like the press man. I mean, like not just like not letting the corner run you out of bounds, and I mean actually catching the ball. Like those are 3 things that he's really got to work on.
Hey, Big Simple, wow, bro. He said, how do you tell the poor fella that he ain't got no?
He's on with Judy.
I don't know which one he talking about. Probably a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a few of them
Judy
out
just
there.
don't have hands, man. I mean,
my thing with Judy is like when you look at a lot of the replays that I see, it's like the ball is hitting either or hand. It's not hitting both hands at the same time. So it's like his hands is off. It's like I don't know if he doesn't have the coordination for it or what, but it's like it's a disconnect between what he's seeing and like where he's putting his hands, and it's like the ball is like it's like a fucking ping pong ball off his hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like speed can't be this important, dog. How does motherfucker make it to this level, dog? Like this shit is crazy.
Speed, exactly. The same thing that you saying that important. Speed. It got a lot of people drafted higher than they should. Got a lot of people a lot more years on rosters than they should. But you done seen plenty of people come in and put up a high 40 and get 5 years. He on my roster right now, signed.
Oh, John Ross.
But he actually, but hey, look,
who he go before in that draft? He went before somebody.
A lot of people. He was like 10th or 11th in the draft. He was a top 10 pick.
I think he was like the first wide receiver to go. I would have to look it up because I don't.
Ain't that when the Aiyuk Chase year?
John Ross,
No, it was before then.
I think so.
Hold on, I'm gonna see. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
I know he came. I know it was a few heavy hitters that came out with him.
He came out in 17, and he was the 9th pick. All right, you said wide receivers. Man, there wasn't another wide receiver took in the first. He was the only wide receiver took in the first round.
I guess I got my.
No, my bad. Well, Mike Williams was took before him, but after him, it was Mike Williams and Corey Davis took before him, but nobody was took after him in the first
Corey
round.
Davis was in that. Okay, yeah, I remember that draft now. Yeah, Corey Davis went to the Titans.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know I forgot he got took so high, to be honest.
Yeah, it was his combine. His combine shot him up.
Zay Jones, Curtis Samuel was took after him. Juju Smith-Schuster, Cooper Kupp, Tywan Taylor, Adura Stewart, Chris Godwin.
So Kupp and Godwin.
Kenny Galladay.
Ooh,
that nigga fell off.
The Giants. Oh, he finessed the bag from the Giants, bro.
Did he, dog? Did he?
And I'm not crying for them about it, so I will.
Yeah. He ain't even try, yo.
At all.
The motherfucking ink ain't even dry on that bitch, and he was like, psych. They was mad at him, boy. Oh man, they was mad at him.
Yeah, they
I
thought
mean,
they
they
had a
signed him all
So,
that
bona
money,
fide
and then
wide receiver.
he ain't never
That was
showed
that.
up.
That was 2021 season, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
signed him.
because that was that first Spaces season. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
They was
so. He
mad at
got what
him.
90
so
first.
so technically, this is just a bad wide receiver draft in general.
And what
Yeah,
a year is that?
you only
I mean, you
said
said
2017.
you said two
Samuel Cup,
names.
Godwin. You said
I
Yeah.
think
Evans too, right?
No,
yeah, Mike.
Evans.
No. Williams. Mike
Evans,
Williams.
I
Oh, okay.
think was the year he was the year before or two
Were you
years
Because
like
Corey
before.
15?
David,
He was
Corey
15,
Davis
right?
fell
Yeah,
off.
I think he was
Yeah.
15 because
Mike Williams
who
ain't
got drafted
here.
before him? It was because it was somebody that was drafted before Evans in that draft. I can't remember the wide receiver.
Shit, to me, it's only two good wide receivers out of this whole draft.
Three. Curtis Samuel is pretty solid because you got Cup and then you said Chris Godwin.
I say Cup and Chris Godwin. I say Curtis Samuel. He
Yeah.
decent. I ain't gonna say he good. He decent.
I
He decent.
mean, he a solid. He a top wide receiver number 2.
Yeah, I
Three,
like.
three.
Stop.
Depending on the
Three.
team,
Stop.
depending on the team, he can
Three.
be a two.
Stop.
Three. Come on now. Come on
Come
now.
on, dog. He can go to half of the teams
Oh,
in the league.
he gonna be a number 2 this year because the team he
Yeah.
on ain't got no receivers. Buffalo ain't got nothing, so he might be one.
I don't know if Buffalo ain't
I
got.
forgot he went to
I ain't
Buffalo.
gonna say Buffalo ain't got nothing. I mean, they got something.
What do they have?
I
They have
mean, they got
Kincaid.
Keon Coleman and
I mean, Keon be a good wide
Stop
MVS
receiver
it.
too.
over there
Why y'all do
and
y'all?
Khalil
Hold
Shakir.
on. Y'all playing right now?
And I actually wanted
Y'all,
Curtis Samuels on my
they
team, to be
trolling
honest.
us, right?
I mean,
Somebody
like,
said Keon Coleman. Y'all trolling us, right?
I mean, Keon will
Cause
be a
he,
good wide receiver too, though. I think. I don't think he'll be a wide receiver one, but
I see you,
I
baby.
think. Listen. Hey,
can
listen.
you have a wide receiver 2 if you don't have a wide receiver 1?
yeah, because you have a
Yeah,
bunch of wide receiver twos. Yeah,
Oh, well.
it's a couple teams out there with a bunch of twos. You know
that's
what I
what
mean?
I'm saying.
But
Yeah,
so you think Keon is a 2 period, even if you don't have a number 1?
man. I think if you put
Who?
him on any team, like, so my thing about Keon, I don't believe he's a number wide receiver one. I just don't. I don't believe that. Like, but I do believe he could be a solid wide receiver too. I just think that's his role. I think they got to find someone else to be the wide receiver one, in my opinion. I just don't know if he can, like, I don't know if he has a separation to be able to do that. I mean, blocking wise, he'll be fine. I mean, like, he's got. I mean, he don't got a whole lot of short area quickness, but he got a little bit of that. But yeah, like I think he could be a solid wide receiver too. That's just what I'm trying to say. Like, wide receiver one, no, I don't see it. And
I
like the guy.
mean, he might be forced to be one with Buffalo, but like I agree.
Good
I
luck
think
with
he's a
that.
solid 2, 3, depending on the team.
I don't see him creating enough separation for himself to get to be a 2. I think he gotta be a 3.
I
Damn,
see. That's what I was about to say. I feel like him being a wide receiver 2 is contingent upon the the quality wide receiver number 1 that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like he can't like. I don't think that he's going to be able to put up 2 numbers because they don't have a 1 in Buffalo.
I
I
mean,
think he's going to look like a 3 in Buffalo.
yeah, I mean, they definitely don't have a one. I mean, that's I'm not even gonna
I
argue
mean,
that.
if y'all get what
I
I'm
think
saying.
No,
Shakir and the tight ends is like first and second options. I think you're right, bro. I think who else went over there? It's somebody MVS. I think
Yeah,
it's a
but I
lot of
mean, from
guys.
what I'm hearing from like the Bills fans is they're saying the MVS might not make the team. Like, he has not had a good camp at all. That's what I've heard.
So Shakir be probably 1, and then the tight end probably be 2. Then
they
they
got 2
got
of
Curtis
them. They
Samuel.
got
They
they
got
got
y'all
Dawson
said,
Knox and Kincaid.
oh,
Yeah.
that
So
might be
those,
2 and 3, and then you got Curtis
yeah.
Samuel possibly coming in as the 4th, Keon maybe 5. I can see it.
But if
And
we're
that's
just
gonna
talking
count
wide
Cook too, because
receivers,
the thing about Cook is like Cook is gonna catch passes, like that's
mm-hmm.
what it's gonna be. So
Yeah.
I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like I think the offense as a whole would be fine. I don't. It's not gonna be explosive like it's been with Diggs. I'm not gonna argue that, but I think the offense will still be a top. Maybe somewhere between, I'm not gonna say top 10, but maybe somewhere 10 to 15, I think. I mean, like as long as Josh Allen can do what he'd normally been doing, throwing over 4,000 yards, scoring over 40 touchdowns, whether it's throwing or running, if he can still do those type of things, I mean, I think there should be like a top 10, not top 10, but I mean between 10 and 15.
I'll say the loss of Gabe Davis might hurt because he was their explosive, deep guy. I don't know who's going to become that role for them with the wide receivers that they have now. I
That's
don't
what I
know
thought they
what
brought
Pablo
MVS
did.
in for Pop. And now that he said they getting cut,
But
I'm like, dang, well,
MVS
where
has
does
the
he fit?
problem of all the guys we were talking about.
Hands.
Yeah.
Guess what? I got a. Hey, look. I ain't gonna lie. I got a regular season win off his
That's why
hands.
MVS couldn't work out with the Jets, who are in desperate need of wide receiver help, and they sent him back to the Chiefs, where he knows that system. He has a role in that system. Like, but outside of that, I just like I don't know what MVS can give you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just going based upon certain people on Twitter I've heard. I mean, even like I've heard like a Bills beat reporter in the Jet space. Even he said it. He said he don't expect MVS to make the team because his training camp's been just that bad.
No, I'm just saying when you told me, I'm like, dang. So if that's the case, that kind of kills my theory that he was the deep threat for them to take Gabe's spot if he's not on the roster. Because I don't see another. I mean, unless you're gonna use Shakir as the one and the deep threat, but then.
And they also already cut Claypool, I guess, with like injury designation, so he's already cut. So yeah, I mean, like their room is starting to thin out. So it's kind of like if MVS don't make the team, then you kind of know all the wide receivers that's gonna the rest of the guys are gonna make the team.
So, like for me, man, I get it that Josh Allen is a really good athlete and everything, but it's like when you take talents like so where did Gabe Davis go? He went to Jacksonville, right?
He went to Jacksonville.
Okay. Yeah. Like it's like if you just looking at the game, then I can understand your perspective. But it's like when you start pulling back the layers and you start thinking about cause and effect, you know what I'm saying? Like when the play breaks down, it's not just Josh Allen. It's Stephon Diggs scrambling. He's demanding the attention of three defenders. Okay. And then you got Gabe Davis over there. You know, I got to keep this nigga in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Because if he get behind me, it could be 6. You know what I'm saying? Because this motherfucker can hang the ball in the air 80 yards. That's helping Josh Allen. When you take that away, you know what I'm saying? Now you got more eyes on Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? And instead of 2 players demanding the attention of 4 defensive players, you got a bunch of guys out there that can get strapped up 1-on-1, no safety help. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he gonna have to play some real Superman ball, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Like some Cam Newton shit. You know,
I mean, but like,
he gonna take some hits, man. This gonna be a real physical season for him in the backfield too. He's gonna have to hold the ball longer. These motherfuckers got to get open. You know what I'm saying? And even when he do extend plays, he's probably more likely going to run because he's not a quarterback that throws with anticipation. This motherfucker got to get open. He got to see him get open, and then he got to throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? So it's not out of the question say to put on the table that he might have a spike in turnovers.
I
You
mean,
know, like you can't just take talent away from somebody and expect them to keep producing at the same level. That's not how any industry works. I don't give a fuck if you're running a newspaper shop. You know what I'm saying? If you keep cutting your good employees, the production is going to go down.
I mean, that's true in a sense, but also this is kind of why I like Josh Allen for MVP this year. is because if he can put up the same numbers with less talent and his team still win that division and do all that,
It's not gonna happen, bro.
I think he's gonna win MVP. Like I'm not saying he would, but I mean I'm definitely sprinkling like a little $25 on him winning MVP to see if it happens because his odds are good. So, but I mean that's the kind of season he's gonna have for I think the Bills to be good. But I also think with a Joe Brady being the OC like they did the last 8 to 9 weeks of last season, they're going to run the ball. I mean like they got James Cook. And then they also drafted the running back. I think the running back out of Kentucky. I think it was like Ray Davis or Ray Dennis or something like that. So I think they're preparing themselves to run the ball, like because they got James, and then like they drafted the kid out of Kentucky, so they're preparing themselves like they're really gonna run the ball. And, like they have a good offensive line. Like I mean I view their line as like a top 10 unit in the league. So they got that. And so, I mean, like, if you can run the ball effectively and then you can run the play action off of that with Josh, if Josh could actually just be under center, if you could do that, then I think they'll be fine. Now, like, I'm not saying they're going 17-0. I'm not saying they're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC. I am not saying that, but I think they can get back to where they was at last year in terms of winning a division, winning a wild card, game, and maybe get the divisional. Just, I mean, like seeing who they play, and that just depends how far they get.
Shakita, what's good? But I just don't know. I think Josh Allen gonna have to, as y'all said, play almost flawless. But can he do that? I mean, has he shown me he can go out there without talent and compete? I mean, he hasn't. He hasn't shown me that.
He gonna have to be on some Bo Jackson Tech Mobile type shit.
I'm definitely not arguing with that. I mean, he's going to have to be Superman this year.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's.
Shout out to my boy Joe Castro, man. Philly the podcast in here with us, man. If y'all like good content, man, tap in with my boy, man. I think he getting back on the road. Football season kicking back up. I mean, so hey, sir, J-Mac, I did have a good time with the dudes I did the podcast with from the Patriots, though, man.
And who'd you do it with?
Dude named Kendall Whitley and Stats.
Kendall, see, I know Kendall. Like Kendall's a Patriot fan. He's like a Bama fan too, right?
Yeah. And
I've talked to him in a couple spaces, like I think it was like last summer. And so
it was interesting, man, because I mean they kind of like you, they realistic, you know what I mean, but they kind of want that offensive line restructured immediately. They like, hey, look, I can't keep seeing this, and that's why they kind of like on the side of like, man, don't play Drake, don't put him in there, don't get him killed, like, just let him chill. Cause he like, man, our offensive line is so bad. If you throw him out there, you asking for that man to be hurt. You asking for him not.
Yeah, I agree with them, but the thing is, the coaching staff is choosing not like, and I'm pretty sure they told you this. This is what I'm about to tell you. They're choosing not to play the right rotation. Like like Lowe has no business being our left tackle. No business. Like we drafted Kalen Wallace. I get Kalen was a right tackle at Penn State opposite Alu. Just play him at left. So you got to play him at left, and then at right. I mean, what you should do is you should push Owenu to right tackle to the guard. And then, I mean, the guard that you dropped out of Texas A&M, I think his name is Leighton Robinson. Play him at the right, play him at the left guard, and then you have Andrews at the center. And then, like, Sidney So should be your right guard. That's what it should be. But for some reason, like, Lowe, they got him in the trade from the Browns last year. Oh, not the Browns, the Vikings. And they love the guy. The guy fucking sucks. Like, he's terrible. So it's just like they got the right combination of guys in there. They're just not playing them, which that just makes me mad. So
yeah, man. Let's tap into this college, man. You know, I think my boy a little upset with this bracket. I let him go first, talk shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, I wasn't here last week, man, and like I ain't the biggest Bama fan at all, but for Bama and Georgia both get taken out in the same round is crazy. Like Utah not taking out Bama. And I don't even think Texas is going to take out Georgia. Like I don't see it. But for both those schools to get taken out, it's kind of crazy. Like I'm just definitely not going to agree with that. But I mean,
what happened?
He was talking about the bracket.
Yeah, the bracket. Yeah, Bama and Georgia get taken out by Utah. That's just not realistic. To me, at least in my opinion, it's not realistic.
Bama lost to Utah.
Yep. And I'm not even a Bama, water carrier. I can't stand Alabama. I can't stand them. But to be the non-biased guy that I am, there's no way they lose to Utah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. But they go to real bracket. They go to real bracket.
Man, fuck y'all niggas, man.
They got a real bracket, dog.
Fuck y'all niggas for that, man. Man, I hate y'all guts. Y'all fucking guts. And I'm gonna get you back too. Trust me. And it might not be week 1 or week 2 or week 3, but I'm gonna get you back for this shit.
Hey,
man.
Did you peep what we was doing in the group chat?
And you just was not even. I mean, because like Dre said something about it. Y'all didn't even say shit. Like y'all just kind of. He didn't say nothing.
Hey, yo. So we agreed. Anytime one of y'all said something about the bracket, we'd just start talking about Deadpool.
See, and I still ain't seen that movie yet either. Like, and I really got to go see that this weekend sometime.
Man, you took off last week and you ain't
Nigga,
gonna see Deadpool?
Nigga, I wasn't home. Nigga, I went away. Like, like to a place.
Okay,
where
they ain't got movie theaters where you at?
Man, it was nothing but beach life all week, man. I wasn't going to the movie theater last week. And I could easily go tonight or tomorrow. I mean, I got plenty of time today or tomorrow to do it. So I'm definitely going to see it.
Don't even worry. We're going to scrub this, though. We ain't even going to let nobody know that you still ain't seen it. We're going to scrub this. That's cool.
But
we can scrub this.
Yeah, we could. We might chop it up. No, we're not. No, we're not. People don't know. But no, we had Ohio State, coming out on top over Penn State, man. We thought maybe just Ohio State might just have a little too much to really overcome, what Ohio State could bring to the table. I mean, what Penn State, Ohio State could bring to the table. And then, obviously, Alabama versus Utah, it was no real question there. I think they could compete early. I don't think they could compete the whole game if it's coming down to that. And then I don't know what Quinn Ewers I'm getting. I mean, Quinn Ewers is a big question mark for me going into that Georgia game, hostile territory. You probably have never been in a game that big in your life, and you already have shown me you can't sometimes stand up under the lights. So I think in a situation playing Georgia with all that talent, I mean, offensive line, defensive line, running backs, receivers, pretty talented quarterback. I just don't think Texas come out. And then UCF against Florida State. I think that's going to be a good game. If that was to happen, I think that'd be the closest game on this whole slate. I just don't think UCF can continuously keep up with our defense with their offense not scoring points.
Not for 4 quarters, no.
J Mick, any question? Any concerns about what happened here?
And y'all had scores on these games, or y'all just was picking the winners?
I think the Ohio State game we said was going to be close. I think the Utah game was a blowout. Georgia, we wasn't 100% across the board about how the score would be, and then we thought Florida State, UCF was going to be close also.
Okay. I mean, I'm just curious. That's all.
So I mean, you could go first, bro, since you wasn't here last week. Ohio State, Alabama, man.
Man, I mean, I think it's going to be a good matchup. I just think Ohio State, if in this particular matchup, I just think they have too much. And I mean, Caleb Downs going against his old team, I think that's a lot of motivation for Caleb. And as long as Will Howard doesn't lose them the game, they should be able to beat Alabama. Like, that's just the way I see it. I just think Ohio State, I mean, from what I'm hearing and I mean, the research I've done on, like Ohio State is like they have one of the most talented rosters in the country. So they should be in the championship game. My only question for them is their quarterback and their coach. I don't trust the coach, and I don't trust the quarterback. But I think they have so much talent that they in this particular game they should be able to overcome that. And I think they're going to beat Bama in this game. I think it's going to be maybe like a 3 to 4 point game. Like I could see like something like 31-28. I mean, something like that.
Pop.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give Ohio State the edge. I think they win by a touchdown in this game. I think it'll be close, but I think going into like the third quarter, fourth quarter, I think Ohio State is just gonna take over and pull this one off. I think they have the pieces in place to do so. But to J-Mac's point, my question is not only the quarterback, but that line. Like, is that going? Will that line be able to hold up against Alabama? I think they have a chance to, and that's why I'm going to give the edge to Ohio State. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout win. I think it will be a pretty close, like I said, like touchdown, one score type game.
Where you at with it, sir?
I simply just think that Alabama is just a better team than Utah. Same thing with Georgia. Right now,
No. Ohio State, Alabama, sir. Ohio State,
oh, I
Alabama.
thought my bad. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this gonna have to come down to health. Um, I don't know. I can't call it right now. But I mean, I know I got to. I'm gonna go Ohio State, man.
All right, with that vote, even though I was going to vote Ohio State, I mean that moves Ohio State to the next round, man. I mean, I feel like Alabama with everything changing, it's just a different look, right? You got, Kellen, what is his name, DeBoer. You got DeBoer coming in. I think that environment in Alabama, is elite, right? But you're in a situation where he has been in these situations before, but I just think the change with all the fighting they're gonna be doing. I think, because me personally, I think Alabama will be in the playoffs, but I think a lot of those games that they have been used to winning outright, just blowing teams out, I think those games are going to be more down to 2-possession, 1-possession games where they fighting a little harder against Auburn, they fighting a little harder against Ole Miss. That LSU game going to be a lot closer. You know what I'm saying? Texas A&M game. I think those games, because of him adjusting to being in the SEC, are going to be closer. And I just think, like, sir, you remember that Florida State team we had in 2015?
Yeah.
You remember how all the games was kind of close? Like, we was favored to go, to the playoffs, and get back in, but we fought so hard. Like, when we played Oregon, it was just like they just knocked the air out of us. We didn't have no more fight left, and I feel like that's kind of what it comes down to with Alabama. Like, then they just run out of juice.
We was turning the ball over early that game, man. It got out of control early. So
I got it close though. I got it like Alabama maybe like 24, Ohio State 28, something like that.
Yeah, like I don't think the Buckeyes like don't get me wrong. Like, I don't like Alabama. I don't like Ohio State. I don't like both of these schools, to be honest. But I do think Alabama, like, if like the Buckeyes can run the ball, because like the Buckeyes have two really good running backs. I mean, like, they got two guys that they're talking about are going to be drafted, maybe not day one, but maybe day 2 or day 3. So, and I mean, like, Ohio State most of the time has a pretty good offensive line. The only way I can see this game getting away from Alabama is if if like those two running backs get off. Like, if those two running backs have a day, then I don't think the Bama game would be that close. But I just don't see that happening. Like, I don't see like the talent on like the Bama's D line falling off that drastically in 1 year. So I just can't see it being a blowout game.
So I'll go first on the next one. Look, I love my team to death, right? I love Florida State to death. This is the rematch, all the fan base want, because of people saying we got blowed out last year and we didn't try and all that. We're gonna lose, bro. I'm just be real. I don't think we win this game on the fact of just what y'all got as far as camaraderie, how y'all play. Y'all know each other, y'all know the team, y'all been in these situations. My team is young coming into this situation. A lot of the guys that's on this roster haven't been in any big games. They haven't been in competing games at that. They've been playing football for fun, for whatever part of the career they're in. And I just feel like coming into this game, championship on the line, basically to get there and fight for it. I just don't know if my team could pull it off. Like, I love Florida State to death. I'm Florida State down today. Like, I just don't see us being able to compete unless I see something different out of DJ. I don't know how. I don't like how he performs in games where it really counts. I've watched him throw up a lot of goose eggs in moments where he should be the guy. And unless that changes this year, I just don't know if we get into this type of fight right here, we can compete. I got y'all beating us by 10.
So I'm gonna say I'll go next. Right, I'm gonna say this: it's not gonna be like the game was last year. I'll say that. I don't foresee that because obviously, if your team gets to this point, you've got a really good team. I mean, like you're talking about the Final Four team. So I don't see no 60-7 or whatever the score was. I don't remember what the score was. I don't see none of that. Like I think it'll be a lot.
63-0.
I wasn't gonna recite the score. But I just don't see it in that kind of light. Like I just think to get to the point where Florida State would to get at, you got to be one of the best 4 teams in the country. So, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think Georgia will win. I mean, I think we'll win by like a touchdown, maybe 10 points at the most. I mean, like if something late happens crazy. But Florida State, for me, like they always go into the portal and they get good players. So I think the talent will always be there. It's just how is your quarterback going to perform? And that would be my question because I think what your quarterback is DJ, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, DJ, I've said it all off season with DJ. If you give DJ a clean pocket at the time to throw the ball, he'll be fine. It's just when you get pressure on him is the issue for him. And I think going against Georgia, I think we're going to get pressure, and I think that's going to affect them. So
I'll say this with the fact that of us having FSU in the Final Four, I think we're going to have a better DJ than what we've seen because he's going to need to be that for them to make it this far in the playoffs. So I think we're going to see a better showing of DJ. And because of that, I think FSU will have a line that will be able to hold up against Georgia. Now, I don't think FSU is going to win this game, but I don't also think it's going to be a blowout game. I think it might be 2 possessions, 1 possession. Like, I think it'll be close, but at the end, like, Georgia just comes out and wins it. Like, they may go up 14 and FSU won't be able to climb out of that hole. I think that'll potentially happen with this game.
Certified.
Man.
You seem hurt over there, good brother.
Nah, man, because I see what it is, man. I see what it is. I see what it is. You know, a wise man once said, "When the grass is cut, the snakes of the show." I gotta thank the little homie Jazzo. Yeah, that's how I feel right now. Yeah, it's really real, son. Listen, man, fuck them niggas, man. Listen, let me tell you something. This shit personal, man. Cause them niggas talk a lot of shit. Motherfucking SEC bias bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame them from quitting. Fuck, I'm gonna play this little consolation game for these punk ass niggas or whatever. They ain't used to being in this position, being on the road 2 weeks in a row against national contenders. We're gonna punch these niggas in the mouth, man. Fuck these niggas.
I mean, before you started talking, and you already lost anyway. It really didn't really matter.
What?
Anyway.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. We'll see. When Florida State win the national championship, they're gonna beat Alabama ass in the national championship.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Watch. That nigga's gonna be super mad at me.
And we're talking about gold nose. Yeah. I love my nose too, but I know we get in that ring with DJ out there doing DJ things, we gonna get punched in our mouth.
Though, if Mike can fix Jordan Travis, he can fix DJ.
He didn't really fix Jordan though. Like Jordan just needed an off. He just brought in a coordinator. He changed, but look, you got to think about it. You got to think about this, sir. He brought in a new coordinator and changed the whole offense to fit him. I don't think he's gonna do that for DJ in 1 year.
But it's not just that. It was also managing him. Like Jordan Travis will go out there, and it's like this motherfucker really think that he's inside of a video game, and then you gotta like calm him down. It's like the Adderall gotta wear off or something, and then he's fine. You know, that's Mike. he's going to have the same type of effect. Listen, man, y'all got to stop underestimating and doubting my coach. He did what the fuck he did. All right.
I mean, was you calling him your coach 2 years ago when people was like y'all finna get fired? I'm just curious.
This nigga always bringing up old
Nah,
shit, dog. This
was
nigga love bringing up old shit, dog. I swear this nigga good for bringing up some old shit.
The reason I'm bringing it up is because I was in those fire Nobel spaces and I was dying laughing how funny that shit was funny. I gotta admit, it was real funny. This shit was hilarious.
I wasn't in there.
I was in there. Y'all was crashing out, man.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Out, bro.
Boys was crashing out crazy, like it was funny though. But yeah, I was just.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that's one place y'all will never catch me in a college football space as a speaker, bro. I was listening to the Florida State fans talk the other day. I was like, yeah.
Did y'all see my post? I was up at like 5 a.m. and it was a Miami Hurricane space. And I looked at the bitch and I was like, I bet you these motherfuckers in there talking about Florida State. I go on that motherfucker, they talking about Florida State. And I was like, it never fails, man. I never hear them talking about Miami. Ever.
Don't y'all play them like week 1 or something like that?
It's early, like week 3. It's early.
Yeah,
week 1 we got Georgia Tech.
week 1, okay.
We got Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, I thought I had like Miami like first week of the season for some reason. But.
Somebody else got them first week. Somebody else got Miami though early.
And
it might be Florida.
Is it Florida? Oh yeah. I think it might be Florida. Matter of fact.
No, I think it's Florida, bro. I think it's Florida.
Yeah, and I think they play in the swamp.
I mean the game is definitely in the swamp. I know that.
Yep, Florida. Yep. 3:30, first week.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
that's an early one to get if you get punched in the mouth to be hurt.
I mean, it's hard. And I heard that game was supposed to be a night game too in the swamp, and like night games in the swamp are hard, man.
No, it's at 3:30. It's a 3:30 game.
3:30, then I guess, and Miami caught a break then. Interesting.
Yeah, but I think they gonna try to schedule our game with Florida at night. It's to be determined right now.
Yeah, but I think y'all be handling them like Florida. Like it's not a big deal for y'all.
I mean, the last few years, yeah, but I mean,
hey, that's a listen. Florida got one of the toughest stretches ever, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to go look at your game pop before you said it was to be determined. They got Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the only thing is like
game stretch where it's rough. But I think they play a lot of their games at home though during that.
Yeah, but I think the Georgia game, like we both get bye weeks before that game, so that I mean, like we're still gonna beat them down. I'm not saying we're not gonna beat them down. We're definitely gonna do that. But I just think it actually gives them a break because I mean they get the bye before that game and then like the games after. So
they get 2 weeks off before they play y'all.
Yeah, because that's how they do it every year. So I mean, like Georgia gets a bye and they get a bye the same week, so it's kind of like on 11. I mean, if you want to call it a level playing field, I mean that's
it. Looked like they get week 0 bye, then they play y'all. They play the 19th, and then they don't play again until the 2nd. So that's what 13 days almost right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's a good buy, but it ain't gonna matter if you go in there and get dogged out.
I mean, I'm about to say like they're still gonna take an L. It ain't gonna, I mean, like, and
you said it's not neutral ground, right? It's in Georgia.
Yeah, and I mean,
it's in Jacksonville. Okay.
Yeah, the funny thing is that actually might be the last one in Jacksonville because I think the ADs is talking about just having them at like home and away regular. So,
what was the reason they stopped that?
I just think they wanted to have it at a neutral site field because they could fit more. Because I think the Jacksonville Stadium could fit. I don't know if Jacksonville really could fit more people than the Florida and the Georgia Stadium. I forgot the primary reason, but it has something to do with just like having it a neutral field and first, so it could be more neutral, I guess.
Do anybody know what they strength of schedule is?
What, Florida?
Yeah,
I think they got a top 25 strength of schedule. I think.
I was finna say, looking at this, it look like about top 10.
I mean, I could Google.
Yeah, it's a I think it's a 5-6 game stretch. It's difficult, bro.
Pop, they play Miami, then they get their little break with Sanford, right? Then they play Texas A&M, Mississippi State. They get I guess you could say a little break game with UCF, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State.
Actually, I take that back. They have the strongest strength of schedule in the country.
Listen, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it,
bro.
I'm looking at it.
Whose schedule is that?
Florida has the hardest strength of schedule.
I was talking to a Gator fan, and he was talking about like they can win 10 games. I said 10 games, bro. Let me look at y'all schedule. I said, bro, I see maybe. I said y'all can maybe win 8.
7.
I got them at 7 wins. I said, but maybe you could fuck around and upset a team in between the stretch y'all got.
To me, if they were to win 7 games, then the coach would keep his job. Like,
yeah, I definitely think they can make a bowl game, but he was talking about
competing
in the SEC. I said, bro,
like, we're like 8-4.
And I think if they don't make a bowl game, I think their coach get fired. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, y'all got them beating Miami.
Where's that game? Is it in Florida?
It's in the swamp.
In Florida.
See, my thing is like Miami's supposed to be much better this year. Like that's my only thing, but they got to go to the swamp, and that's a rivalry game. It's an instant game. So I'm gonna take Florida. Miami should win that game.
Florida the edge just because they at home. I
just think like the coach of Miami is one of the worst coaches in the country to me. Like he's just not a good coach. Yeah, he's a great recruiter, but coaching he just don't do the job for me.
All right, let's say we give them 2. So then we're gonna give them Sanford, obviously the little break game. Texas A&M at Florida.
I'll give it to Florida.
I'll give it to Florida. Even though Texas A&M is supposed to be better.
I got A&M in that game. Me personally, they played horrible against A&M.
Yeah. I just don't trust A&M though, man.
I'm with J Mick. Like A&M, you got all the talent, but it don't come together all the time.
Jimbo gone, man, and ain't the new coaching with his 2nd year now.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, like Texas A&M be having top 10 recruit classes every year, and they don't do anything.
And don't do shit.
And
I know how I feel about Jimbo Fisher, so him being gone. I
win y'all a title though, man. Like he was the coach when y'all was cooking that 1 year.
Fuck that nigga. That nigga left it to go get some. Fuck that nigga. Fuck that nigga, man. I hope that nigga. I hope every time that motherfucker get out of bed, he stub his toe in the corner of the motherfucking bed. Fuck. Oh God, bro. All right. So that's 3-0. Mississippi State at Mississippi State.
They should better beat Mississippi State.
Yeah, they should win.
All right. So UCF versus Florida at Florida.
That's a
tricky one. That's the tricky one right there.
Yeah, I think UCF could beat them though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I kind of with y'all on that one.
I'll go with UCF.
All right, so they 4-1. All right, at Tennessee.
See, I think Tennessee will beat them.
I think Tennessee wins.
You got to look at the game last year. So, like, they played at Florida last year, and Florida beat them pretty soundly. So, I think it's a revenge game for them. I think Tennessee is going to beat them.
All right, Kentucky at Florida.
I'll get out to Florida.
I go
Florida should win.
All right, at Jacksonville, but playing Georgia. So at Georgia,
ain't no fucking way they're gonna beat them. Ain't no fucking way.
They gonna fuck around and upset Georgia.
This is the problem for me. I think they lose these next 2 games right here because after they play Georgia, they got to travel out to Austin.
They got to play Texas.
They got to go to Texas the next week.
No, they definitely ain't winning the Texas game. I can tell you that right now.
I get them the Georgia upset. They're gonna lose to Texas.
Yeah, bullshit.
All right, so that's 3 losses right there. All right, LSU at Florida though.
See, I think LSU can beat them though.
I'll go LSU.
I'll say that.
I'm taking LSU too.
I'll take LSU, but if that's a night game in the swamp, that's gonna be a rough. That's gonna be a rough fucking game, bro.
They got the time on that?
No time.
It's probably gonna be a night game.
You wanna know what's funny?
It's gonna be a night game. It's gonna be a night
game. And that's
I think they got 2 nice games because they got a time for Ole Miss, but they don't got a time for Florida State either. I think they're gonna make both of them night games. So we took LSU, so that's 4 losses. Ole Miss at Florida.
Yeah, they're not winning that game.
I think that's another L. And then a night game at Doak Campbell, Florida against Florida State. I think that's another
they
L.
losing. Yeah.
At Florida State.
At Florida State.
Yeah, they end the
that's
year
that's
at
a L.
Florida State.
That's a L.
So we got them going look like 7-5, 6-6, 7-5.
Yep, that's exactly how I have them.
And I think
but Pop did put that upset on the neutral site on the table. You know,
that's why I said 7-5, sir. Because without the upset, they 6-6.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
we gave them 6 losses. That was 6.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Damn.
Listen, Florida's schedule is fucking tough. Like for them to make 8 wins, they gotta upset some of these teams they play.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to win 8 games. I mean, for them to win 8 games, like their quarterback is going to have to play out of their quarterback and the defense is going to have to play out of body. I'm just being honest.
And that's not happening because I don't have faith in Grant Mertz.
I think their biggest win they need to get would be at Texas.
But I don't think they're getting that win at all. I don't think
I think you get
no miss.
The only reason I say that win right there, Mick, is like to me, if you beat Texas, you go into the last 3 games with some type of momentum. If you drop Georgia, you drop Texas, LSU coming in and hitting you in the face.
I mean, I have to face Georgia and Texas back to back. Whoever made their schedule, that shit was nasty work. I'm not gonna lie, that's real bad.
And both of them on the road.
Yeah, I mean, the Jacksonville games are like it's a neutral site game because I mean, like it's actually closer to Gainesville than Athens is to Jacksonville. So
I mean,
it's only like a 45-minute drive.
Had they not abused their ability to create their own schedules, they wouldn't have to face shit like this. So fuck them.
But they to me. The 2 games they added to their schedule was what? UCF and they added UCF and Sanford to their schedule. I just don't know what they was thinking about when they ordered this shit.
Yeah, I mean the Sanford game's a win. Like they're not gonna lose to Sanford, but
it's that back stretch of their schedule. I'm just like, God, league, bro.
No, I was just saying, like, you get 2 out of conference games you add to your schedule, right? So they added UCF, who we think could beat them, and Sanford.
I mean,
Miami's already on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, like UCF, they could beat UCF, but I think the way they're scheduled, now that I heard their schedule, they kind of have to beat UCF.
They have
that's like a must win.
Yeah,
you got to beat Texas. You got to beat Texas A&M and Mississippi State too. You lose any one of those games, you might be in trouble.
Well, I mean, if they lose Mississippi State, then the coach will get fired, bro. Like Mississippi State not supposed to be good at all this year, so there's no way they should lose that game.
You said he fired right after the game if they lose that one, huh? Man, he don't even get to make it to see UCF.
If you're Florida and you lose Mississippi State, bro, he's getting fired. I'm just telling you. Like, there's no way
it's like
that.
It's like 4 games on this schedule. If you lose, your season over. I think the Kentucky game, UCF game, Mississippi State, and that Miami game.
I mean, they kind of got to win all them games, to be honest. Like
that's what I'm saying.
They have to win 4 to 5 to start, and then they got to at least win 2 of the 6 games left.
Which is the hardest 2 games to win. Goddamn it!
Oh my God!
I mean, good luck to them, man.
I'm looking for the 2 wins. Like I see Kentucky, and then everything else to me is like, can you beat them?
That's the question.
Can you go to Tennessee at a possible? They got a to be determined on that Tennessee game too, so it could possibly be a night game.
I mean, the Tennessee game because the Tennessee Florida game last year was a night game in the swamp. I mean, Tennessee at night is tough. Like trying to play there at night too is tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, I just looked up and I wasn't really paying attention to the Chicago game. They got Caleb in, like you said, bro, for a good little minute. He's still in.
Yeah, he ain't really playing that well though.
No, he's not.
He's not really playing that great.
They just showed his stats. I was like, oh, wait, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, some of his passes have been. I mean, he's playing more within the structure of the offense, what I've seen. But yeah, he's not having as good a game as he did last week. So, but I mean, it's preseason, man. I don't really like people be putting a lot into these joint practices and preseason. Like, I only put stock in it if you're really bad. If you're really, really bad, that's when I put stock in it. If you're really good, I'd be like, that's what you're supposed to do. So
he showed Sean. He showed signs of being able to be competent. as a quarterback. Hold on, I'm loading this last one up so we can get through this final one.
I mean, the final matchup, you ain't even really got to ask me because you already know what I'm gonna say. So
Ohio State busting Georgia ass. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
hell
I
yeah.
don't even see how
Yeah.
the niggas made it to the championship round in the
I
first
mean,
place.
Georgia all fucking
Because they
day.
overrated as fuck.
We about to bust. We about to bust. They
Everybody
fucking
want to
ass.
hear all
Man.
that shit, dog.
I mean,
Man,
'cause I'm sick
Georgia
of hearing them
fans.
niggas.
Hey, you know what though? You lucky I'm fighting for my life right now, dog. I got way too high, and it's so much that I want to say, and I can't right now, dog.
Man, you sound like
Hey,
me last night, man. Man, I was high as the moon last night, man. High as hell. And
This is a good game. This would definitely be a good game. I think Ohio State possibly trying to get some revenge from all the times y'all done put
I'm
foot
sick
to
of
their
them
neck.
niggas.
Nah, Ohio
I'm sick
State
of them niggas.
revenge. They
Like
gonna dog
every
walk
time I'm in a
them.
college space, man.
I'm sick
Every
of
time a
all
college
you
space
niggas,
was
man.
2 years ago, talk about you know what I mean. Like we had y'all. We don't miss the field goal if y'all don't purposely concuss. Marvin. They shut up, man. Y'all lost the goddamn game. Like literally stop crying. Y'all lost. Y'all could have won. If your field goal would have made the kick, y'all would have been national champions. But it just ain't work out that way.
Yeah, I think I really think Ohio State coming for some blood. Y'all listen. Every time I see them boys play somebody out of the SEC, especially Georgia, it's foot to neck. It's foot to neck. Them boys is finna shoot something, man. Them boys finna shoot something. I hate to say it.
And you only seen them play us one time in the last decade, though. We ain't played them like that.
Yeah,
I said
y'all
Bama,
SEC
different.
too.
The Bama different story now. Like Bama.
It is. It's all the same. It's all the same. Them motherfuckers need to beat the SEC. Look, they need to beat the SEC in general, man. It don't even matter, man. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, all of them put foot to neck. Every time they play somebody
it ain't gonna
in the
happen.
SEC,
Like in this championship, that shit not gonna happen. But
So this one I don't understand. Like, so Mike been doing this for like 2-3 years, and it's been successful, and motherfuckers still questioning it, right? But Alabama got a whole. Go ahead, yo. Alabama got a whole new coach, bruh. Stop. Alabama got a whole new coach coming in, and motherfuckers just think that they just gonna just transfer like they not gonna skip a beat or nothing. And I don't even
Well, I'll
understand
say
that.
the quality of like Kalen DeBoer is not a bad coach. You saw what he did at Washington. You saw the success he had. He's a very successful coach. I don't like Dre knows his fucking record off the top of his head. I don't know, but I do know he was able to turn that Washington
Are you
team
talking about the Alabama
into
fan?
yeah.
He only had. I think he only got like
Yeah.
2 or 3 losses.
Yeah,
Man, that
but
shit
like
don't
he's
count.
just a
I'm just saying 2 losses in the Pac-12 is like 10 somewhere else.
But I'm
Them
just
niggas
saying
is
that type
cheeks.
of coach, like I think that means something. Like with him having that type of background, I think that means something. And I think he can bring that type of success to a Bama team that's pretty much still ready made. You just gotta coach. You gotta put in the right coaches in position. And
Man,
I
I
think
don't
it'll
know,
carry
man.
over.
Like they say that about Jimbo. Oh, he going to a better talent pool. Oh, he gonna tap into Texas. Look what happened.
I mean, Amber and Cat are slandering you in the comments, man. They are
Listen, man.
slandering you, boy.
Haters go over here. You ain't popping if you ain't got no haters, dog.
All right, so who did everybody take? Hold on,
I got Ohio State.
Pop. You got Ohio State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're gonna bust Georgia in the mouth.
they gonna
Man,
be
I
the
can't wait
healthier
to cheer against
team.
the Tigers every week, man. I can't wait to cheer against y'all every week.
Y'all got it score. Y'all got it close or far away.
I wish
I
we
got
played in
it,
the
I
SEC.
got
31-24.
it.
Man, that shit gonna be
I got
like,
it 45-30.
like
I mean, who do you think people are Alabama?
31-13.
Like, who you think they are? They're not
It's gonna,
Alabama. Like, the only team that be doing this like that is Alabama. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ohio State got it in them now.
31-13, Ohio State.
All right,
So I
so I'm
mean,
gonna go
Will
with that.
Howard is really going to score 31 points on my
31-13.
defense. Will fucking Howard, get the fuck out of here! Y'all are drunk. Well, most of y'all are drunk, and someone's high, but still.
All right, hey, listen.
Nah.
Hold on.
I'm gonna go 19-13, Ohio State.
I had it 21-13, to be honest. That's why I got it at.
I mean, for who though?
Ohio, bro. The hell?
Yeah.
I'm giving your ass another championship.
Man,
You almost,
I hope
bro.
shit out of them, bro.
Bro, you fucking Kansas City. I'm not giving you no more championships. The hell?
Bruh.
How the fuck we Kansas City? I mean, like we ain't won 3 out of 5.
You already back to back, and you trying to get 3 out of 5.
Back to
And you
back.
trying to get 3 out of 5.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Like KC trying to win 3 in a row. We ain't win 3 in a row. We're not KC.
No,
If it
y'all.
went for Alabama, if it went for Alabama, you would have been there.
Y'all tried.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee. I mean, like say we beat Bama, there's still no guarantee that we was gonna win the national championship. There's no guarantee of that. We still got to play the game.
Well, that was that's fair because I just don't think last year. I don't think there was any dominant team in college football, and I'm including the teams in the playoffs. There was no team I really thought was truly dominant last year. Like you had good teams, great teams, but not dominant teams.
Hey man, they told you to they said get a Snuggie, sir. Said you need a Snuggie, a pillow, and a blanket. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I already knew. So it looked like after all these weeks of breaking it down, man, it looked like Ohio State in our first preseason.
Hey Pop, you know what I want to call them, right?
In our first preseason breakdown, it looked like Ohio State comes out on top. We probably do another one of these, man. It's pretty interesting.
Go Buckeyes.
I mean, I think we said we're going to do one of these after the actual rankings come out. I think the rankings come out like week 6 or 7 or something like that.
7. I think it's 7.
Yeah, 7. So we should be doing another ranking, like right before the rankings come out. Because I mean, by then, like we would have seen at least like 4 to 5 games from like every team, so we should be able to make a good determination. So
I just turned to the game, Cat. I really didn't get to see him play trash. I guess I'll go back and rewatch it. But everybody takes my phone
practice or something. Like that's I thought they were talking about he was doing that shit in practice. Like the game wasn't until tomorrow.
Nah, I got so many texts on my phone. Like at first I'm like, what? I'm watching the other game, and then I turned to it, and I mean they scored though. They just scored. Daniel Jones had a nice little pass for the touchdown.
Daniel Jones got 2 picks though.
Sheesh.
Oh, damn.
In a preseason game? What today?
Right now.
And the funny thing is, one of them picks was a pick 6.
Oh, so the Texas offense ain't doing nothing either then. So the defense must be holding up for him.
I mean, CJ Stroud 7 for 10 for 88 yards. It's just the offense ain't really scored no points. But yeah, I mean, what I'm gonna do is, I mean, for me during like the preseason, what I do is like the games that's on NFL Network, I watch those games, and then like the rest of the games, like I'll watch on like NFL Plus or whatever, like the condensed version.
Yeah, I want to go back and see. I want to go back and see how bad those interceptions was for real.
I think them shit's gonna be on ESPN all day today, man. I don't think you have to look too hard for that.
The backup just do an interception for the Texans, but it might be offsides.
Was that Casey Keenum? Yeah, I think it's Casey Keenum.
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Damn, I mean, he's still playing? That old motherfucker? Shit, what is he, 45? Like nigga been playing forever.
When did y'all draft him? 2010?
Nah, he's 36. I'm exaggerating, but he's been playing for 12 years, though. He's 36.
Yeah, I'm finna say, I thought y'all got him right around 11 or 10, 11.
I mean, we didn't draft Casey Keenum. I mean, someone else drafted him.
It was the Vikings, I think.
No, Vikings.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because we did not draft him at all.
You know what? I'm thinking about Matt Castle in the back of my head for some reason.
Yeah, Matt Castle, yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was the Vikings. I also remember the Vikings picked up Josh Freeman when the Bucks cut him. It was a weird transition time because I think who was that? Their coach was Frazier. It was a light-skinned black dude. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Hey, I got a question for y'all before we go. Who is the worst coach you witnessed since you've been watching football?
Chip Kelly.
Head coach, coordinator,
Head coach. Yeah.
Hugh Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, Hugh was pretty bad, man. I can't lie.
God!
Hugh was pretty bad, man.
Hey, Pop, you hit me in the chest. I said, "Ooh, that would hurt."
But I
The
mean,
motherfucker that the Chargers just fired. Staley.
Brandon
Staley.
Staley.
Brandon Staley.
Brandon
Yeah,
Staley.
Yeah.
I think he's the
Staley.
worst coach. He might be the worst coach I've ever seen.
I mean, for me, it was Adam Gase, man. Adam Gase was the worst coach I've ever seen.
He's a good coach. He's just a cokehead. That's all that was.
He wasn't good at Miami. He wasn't good with the Jets, man. He was terrible.
Hey, what's the dude's name? They call him the quarterback killer. Is it Fisher?
Killer.
Is it Jeff Fisher?
Yeah. He was bad too.
He gotta be one of the worst I ever seen, bro.
He was
Steve
McNair merchant.
I see that man go from Steve McNair to Vince Young, and everybody's like, he's gonna have a good turnaround. Turn Vince Young into a cokehead.
I'm gonna get off this football talk for a second. Surfer, what the hell are you smoking that got you this fucking high?
What's the name?
You didn't
what's the strand?
Him hit that pen, bro.
Nah. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, that nigga was pulling. Mm-hmm.
What's the strand, good brother?
What is the strand that you smoking right now?
I think it's mint. Like gold something mint. Something mint.
It's probably indica hybrid then. If it's in the mint family.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap soon.
Yeah. You've been trying to the last 15 minutes.
Nigga, easy on me though.
Yeah, if it's in the mint family, it's definitely a hybrid indica base.
Yeah, he got something that's taking him through there, boy. Listen, whenever you sober enough to send me the strand, please do that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go search him down, because if he hits you like that off one hit.
Oh no, I've been pulling on this bitch.
I mean, I was gonna say, because like last night, like I was on some edibles and like this girl had texted me, and I don't even remember texting her back. And then in the morning I wake up, I'm reading this shit like there's all kind of spelling errors. I must have been high as fuck last night. Shit was crazy.
But hey, man, we had the 1 hour 48-minute mark. Man, we appreciate all y'all for coming out. We got 100 people here with us today. If y'all are on the YouTube side, Twitter side, and you haven't came to the YouTube side yet, please come to the YouTube side and hit the subscribe and like button, man. Leave a comment. We appreciate all y'all for tapping in every Saturday at noon. Next week we'll be talking about real football, man. So, anything y'all got for the people before we get out of here? Because my boy is struggling.
Yeah, just keep tapping in with us. Hey, Cat Cookie, you, I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Boy, as high as giraffe pussy right now, man.
Yeah, just keep tapping in with us. I love chopping it up with y'all. I love spending time, chopping it up with the guys. Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, the only thing I can add to it is just like and subscribe. Football season, we've been grinding the whole off season, and football season week 0 next week. NFL's in about 19 days. So I mean, we here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Hey, man, from us to y'all, it's love, peace, hair grease, man. Certified. Hopefully we get to see you later, good brother. But go take that now.
All right, y'all. Nigga.
All right.
Easy.